My people, how we doing today? Make sure you guys hit the like button. It's down there. And if you do, you will automatically be entered to win yourself a fly swatter. Alright. Make sure you guys check out DNKKnives.com. And if you purchase something on DNK Knives, you can use the coupon code Behind the Edge 10, all one word. Get yourself 10% off of your purchase. DNK Knives is a small knife shop, but they're getting bigger. They're getting a lot of new stuff in. They just got a load of Spartan blades in. I think I seen a really cool Harzy folder in Damascus, which is really cool looking knife. I've never had the 3.25, but I have had the full-size versions, and it's an amazing knife. One of my favorites, actually. Make sure you follow me on Instagram if you so desire. It would be much appreciated. And make sure you guys subscribe. And if you want to support the channel, you can do so by checking out the link to Patreon below. $3 is the lowest tier. It will get you in on any giveaway I do on that platform. And also, that's the first place I post knives when I sell them. And I leave them there for a couple days before I post them anywhere else. And I also sell them for a much cheaper rate there on Patreon. Alright, what else? I think it's it. Make sure you check out Apex Alchemy too, guys, on YouTube. 1 second, we'll grab my ashtray. Sorry about that. Alright, so today, as you can tell from the thumbnail, we're going to talk about the basics of stropping your knife. I make strops, but you don't have to make your own. You can buy some. And then they sell like plates. This is a Work Sharp plate strop. It is for the Work Sharp system, their bench system, but I use it as just a touch-up strop. But most importantly, you'd absolutely want a quality strop on a very flat surface, and I mean very flat, or over time you will take the chance on convexing your edge if you're not careful. You can also convex your edge by pushing too hard, which you also need to be careful of. I typically strop for touch-ups, and then well, every time I sharpen a knife too, I'll strop it at the very end. But usually when I'm just touching up a knife just to bring back that really keen edge, I still always use a stone first. You don't have to do that. You can just go straight to the strop. But I find better results come after you hit it on the on this a couple times first. Like I said, you don't have to do that. You can go just straight to the strop, but I prefer to do it that way. Let me get a couple things out of the way here. We're going to use this Stretch 2XL. I'm not sure about the angle here, the camera angle. I might switch to a different camera angle. All right, another thing real quick. I use 3 strops typically, and they each have a different compound on it or a different emulsion. This one over here is typically the one I use first because it has a 3 micron DMT diamond paste on it, which is a higher grit. It's not a very high grit, but it's the highest one that I use. And then I have, this one is the next. This will be a 2 micron paste compound, and then this one will be a 0.5, so a half a micron compound as well. And you do not have to use extremely expensive compounds. I do recommend a good diamond compound or diamond emulsion, but you don't have to spend a lot of money to get a good compound of the paste or the brick, you know what I mean? It doesn't have to be expensive stuff. It works. What I use is just a Porter cable, really cheap, and it works well, and I stand by that. So, sorry about that. Whenever you're stropping your knife, the first thing you need to worry about is finding your angle. It is just like finding your angle on a stone or finding your angle on a sharpening system. You need to know where your angle is. And the best way that I've found, again, one more thing, all this is just the way I do it. You don't have to do it this way. There are professionals out there that do it different, but I find the way that I do it works well for me. All right, so you can see a little bit of a gap between the edge and the surface of your strop. If you angle that and get it right where it touches, the edge touches that strop, that's your angle that you want to follow. Also, whenever you are stropping your knife, you do not want to put a lot of pressure on it. You just use basically the weight of the knife in your hand as all the pressure you need. You do not need any more pressure than that. If you use more pressure than that, you take a chance on convexing your edge, and you don't want to do that. I typically go 3 to 5 passes per side, and then also you can see the way I'm doing this. I'm drawing it to the right as I'm going up the strop, and then I go this way, this direction. That's just what's comfortable for me. You don't have to draw it at all. You can just do it this way and then hit the rest of the edge this way. And after a while, you'll get used to doing this so much that it'll just feel really natural. And I recommend practicing on a shit knife too, just so you get used to it. You know, find your angle, do a few passes, look at it, test it on a piece of paper, and you know, learn from that as you go. This knife that I'm stropping now is already crazy sharp. Actually, I used it the other day, so it might not be as good. Let's see. Yeah, that's bananas. All right. Another thing, don't try to overdo it. You don't want to pass it across the strop 25 times per side. That's just overdoing it, and you're actually going to dull the knife, in my experience, by overdoing it. And that doesn't make any sense. Another thing is find your own technique. You know, whenever you're like I said, I'm pushing this direction, and then when I flip over the blade, I'm pulling in this direction. Everybody will have their own technique on what feels comfortable to them. The most important thing you always have to remember is to stay with that edge angle. I find it easier to hold the strop as well, but some people will sit it down at the edge of a table or something to make it easier for them. You just have to find what is comfortable for you and easier for you. I find this be the best way. A 2-inch diameter strop is plenty wide enough, and you want it to be at least 7 inches long, in my experience. That's the way I make them standard. This one is a little thinner by 3/16, not a big deal. It is quite thick, but I found this wormwood, this wormy maple, and I just had to make a strop out of it. And I've used the crap out of this. As you can see, there's a lot of material on here. This diamond paste takes a lot of material off, and this is the first strop I use after sharpening because it takes the most amount of material away, and it also polishes that edge crazy fast, so you don't have to do it very much, and you get that shine. It was already on this edge, but you get what I'm saying. I will probably do follow-up videos to this video at different angles and stuff. If you guys have any questions or want to ask a question about a certain thing when it comes to stropping, let me know in the comments, and then I will do a video, a follow-up video that will be more detailed and stuff like that. I plan on doing sharpening videos as well. Basically, the point of this video is just to get the basics down. Make sure you follow your angle. Don't try to overdo it. Don't press hard. Just use the weight of the blade, and that's basically just the basics. And then I also recommend getting one of these triangle stones from Spyderco. They are awesome, very high quality, and they're dirt cheap. I use one of these basically every time I touch up a knife. I'll even use this without a strop sometimes. Hell, I use these after I sharpen on a guided system just to get it the way I want it. And there's so many different nuances when it comes to sharpening, and everybody does it different. So that's all I got for you today. Like I said, if you have any questions or comments, let me know down in the comments. And that'll be it for today. Make sure you like, subscribe, all that good stuff, please. Make sure you check out DNK Knives. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Later.